We got to start off in Minnesota, man,
Yeah.
where we had some pretty hefty talks on our group chain or
Yeah.
group chat last night about what the Twins are. Are they dead? Are they alive? I think they're still alive, but that's because
Okay.
I am incredibly biased.
Yeah.
If you want to read about the Twins, Aaron Gleeman, writer for The Athletic, put out an article about kind of what happened this season. The relievers didn't show up besides Duran, who's had one of the better relieving years
Yeah.
of anybody, especially for a rookie. The rest of them have been pretty bad. They have not hit with runners in scoring position. They haven't been able to stay healthy whatsoever. It's just they had a sizable lead in that division, man. And in his article, he points out if they just played regular, 500 baseball, they'd still have that lead because the Guardians and the White Sox haven't like run away with anything. It's just the Twins have played so poorly
Yeah.
that now they're looking back. And I don't know, man. They got a road ahead of them, but the Guardians took care of business. You got to hand it to them. Like I said, looking at that series, you saw Quantrill, McKenzie, and Bieber lined up, and you're like, okay, that's going to be tough for the Twins. Maybe they squeak out one. Well, it didn't happen. Quantrill only goes 5 innings pitched, but I think where are my notes? I had notes.
He's got notes, people. He's
Hold on.
prepped.
Guardian starters, 18 and a third innings pitched in this series, 2 earned runs. That's how you get a sweep.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, they were up 7-0 in game one. Final score 7-6. So Minnesota tried to come in. Clase said, no, we're good. 6-0 lead in game two. Twins put up 4 on Shaw in the ninth. They have to bring in Clase. He shuts them down. That game, Archer had to come out with a pec issue, so that's tough. And then 2-1 game entering the ninth. Naylor hits a double, which is like, I don't even know how it happened. It was like a chopper over the first baseman's head that like also bounced over the second baseman. And I don't know. That was when this was after the day after Class A had to come in. Karinchak closes this one out. So it's just like it's a bad series for the Twins. And I know you wanted to talk about Karinchak's hair. I already talked about it with C. Rosie, but kind of curious how what you think about that.
Yeah, I want to circle up on this a little bit because I got some schedules up in front of me, and we are at the time when it matters the most. I mean, Guardians 3 versus the Angels. They got a 1-gamer versus the White Sox, which is funny. Before they play the Twins for 5, so if you believe in baseball and anything, you've got some hope there. And the Guardians have 2 series, or no, they have 4 games with the White Sox the rest of the way. So they've got that weird 1-gamer, and then they've got 3 right after the 5 with the Guardians. So is there a sliver of hope that if the Guardians' wheels completely fall off, that the AL mid can end up being open again? Yes. And when the division's been like this all year, I'm not going to rule anything out. Although, credit to the Guardians, they've been fairly consistent. They really have, especially for a young team and what's going on in that division. Kind of the one thing you couldn't do was get swept, and they got swept. That's I guess we'll find out, right? Like, we're going to find out from these Twins if they're in the locker room and each day they come out with the vim and vigor of we almost have to be perfect the rest of the way, and they do. Good on them. Or the other side of it is the wheels can fall off, and they're a game under 500, and I don't know. The Twins, I think when they signed Correa, the expectations went up big time this year after last year, and they were there, and then it's all kind of fallen apart. That I don't know. They've around that Cleveland series, they've got Kansas City, so hey, go nuts. We'll talk about you when you reel off a 9-1, but right now you dug a big hole at a bad time.
Have you seen Oscar Gonzalez swing a bat?
Yes.
6'4", 240. Admittedly, I haven't seen a lot of him. His numbers are there. I know who he is. I haven't really watched the bats. This dude, scary up there. He absolutely mashed 2 homers. And like I talked about Reese, the sound of that ball coming off his bat, same thing here. There's just something, man. When you got a guy that has raw pop like that, the sound is just different. Good for Cleveland, man. 24 years old.
Don't say
790 OPS.
Don't say raw pop. Jess was gone all weekend.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
sorry
You
to our
had quite a
listeners.
few raw pops this weekend, didn't
Yeah,
you?
it's the theme of the weekend.
Ugh. As you're
Ugh,
texting me, gross.
that's gross. Um,
Raise Yanks.
the hair
Oh, that's you want to talk?
situation.
Yeah, you want to
Karen
talk Karen
Check.
Check.
It's just one of those baseball comedy shows. Hey, Ted Barrett, right?
Yes, I said the same thing. Love that.
Kind of just an all-time tough guy. Like, if the umpires had to send an all-time tough guy, it's Ted Barrett and, I guess maybe Laz. Laz was a SEAL, right? There's one
Was
other guy.
he?
There's one other guy with Ted Barrett who's like just a tough MFer,
Well, this Jim Wolf is jacked.
right?
Look, Ted Barrett. People who don't know this is a pretty well-known story around baseball players, but he was a sparring partner of Mike Tyson.
Right.
So you do that, and then all of a sudden you're feeling through a dude's hair.
Yeah.
In the middle of a game. It's just he's had some fun life experiences, hasn't he?
We did some silly weekly dumb coming out tomorrow. Get excited for that. Yeah, man. I mean, just so ridiculous. And part of me gets it from Rocco. Like, check out some of the spin stuff. Jom's got a breakdown coming out on it. But yeah, I mean, that image of Ted Barrett petting James Karinchak on the mound will live forever.
I'll give my short take on it because we went pretty hard on this earlier today with C Rosie. Baseball Today, great show. We do it every day, 5 days a week. So not every day, but you know what I'm talking about. When things are overly suspicious, I'm okay with pitchers getting checked. And I know pitchers are going to come back and say, well, what are you just going to check everybody? There's no penalty. That's what I think Quantrill was saying that afterwards. There should be a penalty if you check someone and nothing's there,
right.
blah, blah, blah. Because he's saying, like, basically you could check anyone you want. And you could do that every single time. But the fact is that does not happen throughout the league. It just doesn't. The only time people get checked is when it's suspicious or they know something. They heard something. Karinchak knows he looks suspicious as shit with that hair, dude. So, he should be mad that he got checked. I said to C Rose, if someone was going to their belt or their hats every single pitch and, it just looked really suspicious, you could check them. That's not a big deal. Now, if Rocco should have, in my opinion, done it before the at-bat, not mid-at-bat, I don't like that aspect of it. That's a little bit of gamesmanship, I'd assume. But if you're a manager, it's your job, dude. I don't fault him whatsoever for having the check because it was it looks suspicious.
It looks nothing but suspicious, so you get it. And again, there's some.
You don't want to. Look, that guy's already mad enough. It's not like Rocco's doing that to make him even more mad. That guy thrives on madness. The next day, he was punching tickets getting this save because he was pissed off.
Yeah. No, it's just so ridiculous. I mean, the way he pet him, I don't know. Yeah. It's if you haven't seen it.
Dude, it's like this. When you're walking around with your goatee, and somebody accuses you of something, you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
Because you look like a creep.
I've been hearing that. I guess I should stop with the goatee. I don't know. I'm getting mixed signals on it. Everyone seems to hate that.